Well, I think we just wanted to bring the Tyria project to the notice of the Russian petrochemical community to allow them to understand how a small private company was developing a mega cracker project. We are counterintuitive, but as I explained to the audience, we are a naphtha cracker, we're not a gas cracker. And that, I believe, actually throws up a number of opportunities for strategic partnerships with Russian companies at a number of different levels. They can come involved in our main TPC cracker project. I think they're given that the technology, and that's the second leg of why I'm here, is to meet with Russian firms who have technology which we can use in downstream plants from the cracker. And then thirdly, I know Egypt and Russia have a growing economic relationship. I know President Sisi met with President Putin. The Suez economic zone, of which we're investing into, is also setting up an economic zone for Russian oil and gas companies to come and invest in. So I was trying to give people a feel for, doing a big project in Egypt, some of the challenges we face, and our timetable, in the hope of attracting basically Russian investors, getting people thinking about Egypt, trying to pick up Russian technology.
And on what stage the project is in now?
The project is within months of financial close. We have to financially close by the end of this year. We already have bulldozers on the ground, levelling ground. We're building workers' accommodation. So you'll see serious building going on next year with a start line of probably 2024. Well, we're a small company. I mean, we are not an international oil company or a large, private company. So we've had to do this with a very small number of people, and we've had to raise $10 billion worth of finance. That is very challenging. We have to put in place large contracts for supply of naphtha and offtake of products in order to guarantee the revenue to our debt and equity in order for them to invest in the project. And that takes a bit of time. On the project front, I don't think, we're not building a spaceship. People have built ethylene crackers before. There is no new technology in there. We have chosen technology for a young company, so it's not new technology, it's well-established technology in Univation and Noble and Linde, with a view that we will have a young operator force when we first start out, and therefore they will be learning, and you mustn't get into complex technology when you do that. I think the other challenge we face is project implementation. Egypt is a fairly complex company. We have the benefit of the workforce will be entirely Egyptian, but that brings some challenges in terms of Egypt. Egypt is only getting used to now doing mega projects. Under the President Sisi, there's been serious investment in power, as you know, and has seen some major power stations, mainly built by German companies over the past 3 years, something in the region of 8.8 gigawatts, I think. As you know, Russia is helping Egypt build its first nuclear power station, but there's still a learning curve that Egypt has to go up in terms of the complexities of doing big projects, importing lots of equipment through ports, and the infrastructure and logistics you need to do a big project. So we're working hard with the Suez Economic Zone for us all to learn the best way of doing things, for the Suez Economic Zone to use its one-stop shop to come in and help us sort out a number of the practical issues we face in implementing the project. So, we have challenges across the whole project, but with the end post in sight for financing and construction starting on project, we're very proud of our efforts so far. I've enjoyed the conference because I think the conferences of this conference and the conference preceding it on gas monetization, I think have brought out the great debates the companies are facing about how to monetize gas, how to monetize feedstock. Egypt doesn't have any feedstocks, so we were going to have to import feedstock anyway, be it ethane or naphtha or whatever. As I said in my presentation, we chose naphtha because that creates a platform for us to build downstream chemistry. I think you've seen in this conference, the debate between do you go ethane, do you go oil to chemicals. We're perfectly happy. If you look at a standard ethylene cost curve that, for example, Wood Mackenzie showed in their presentation this morning, we will sit, given we're a very large cracker, so we have big economies of scale. We are in Egypt, so our labour costs are fairly low, our utility costs are fairly low. We will sit on the front end of the naphtha crackers and the ethylene cost curve. So we're not worried about the fact that, for example, Chinese MTO or some of the smaller naphtha crackers you find in Asia may drop off the curve, we're sitting in the middle. We're never going to compete with a gas cracker. I always say to people, I don't worry about the first third of the ethylene cost curve, because actually it's based on feedstock costs, often subsidized feedstock costs, and there's no way I can compete with it. So I'm not going to try and compete with it. What I've got to make sure is that I'm on the front end of the naphtha cracker curves, because as long as I'm biggest and baddest in the naphtha queue, I will always make money.